Nice. We are live. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys.
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, so finally I am free from out from under the boot of Jesse Lee Peterson. I am streaming. I am James Hake. This is the Hake Report, and I am streaming on all of my channels. Isn't that awesome? So exciting. Pumped up. Get ready. What's up, Super Dave, Reed Johnson, Shaggy Boy, Floshinsky? Well, I'm looking at the DLive.tv/The Hake Report. Make sure you follow me there. And I'm streaming actually just even on my own YouTube channel. Somebody said, watch, James is going to get booted for community guidelines violations. I'm so excited. And I, unlike Jesse Lee Peterson, am on Facebook because I don't do hate speech. That means I'm beta male. And I'm also on twitch.tv/The Hake Report and Mixer, of course. What's up, everybody? And of course, periscope.tv/The Hake Report. So I'm going to get to your calls. Appreciate you guys calling in. I'm not sure. Yeah. 888-775-3773. Get pumped. So it's Monday, February 24th, 2020. Live in the 9 a.m. Pacific time hour. No longer on Jesse Lee Peterson's stream, but still in Jesse Lee Peterson's studio. So I may not be under his boot, but I'm under his umbrella. That's cool. Right? So, you know, I heard, I told Jesse Lee Peterson today on his streams, I'm so pumped, that I wanted to talk about the mama spirit. And yes, I ripped that right off of what Jesse Lee Peterson talks about, and I don't care. I heard my previous guest and the Fallen State previous guest, Vosh, I sometimes call him Vaush, talking with guy who interviewed Jesse Lee Peterson a couple of times, Stefan Molyneux. Some of you guys heard of Jesse Lee Peterson from Stefan Molyneux. Esteban from the one from Florida who moved here. Oh no, Connecticut. Wherever Esteban came from. He heard of Jesse Lee Peterson from Stefan Molyneux. Jamie Whitney gives a super chat on YouTube. Congratulations. Whoosh. My son is a fan of you. Wow, that is cool. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I did have a super chat yesterday. Let me see if I can find that one. Hold on. Dead air, guys. Yeah, Kevin Crater gave $4.20 and said, "Smoke up, James Hake." I don't do that, but thank you, man. Appreciate that. So Vosh was debating Stefan Molyneux last night, I guess, right? Stefan Molyneux really loves Jesse Lee Peterson. I met him over at Night for Freedom a year or two ago when Jesse Lee Peterson went over there. It was a Mike Cernovich event, who's also been on Jesse's show and the Fallen State, men's conferences. And I am going to open the treasure chest on DLive.tv if Joel remembers at 9:30, 9:45, right? So be ready. But Vosh, you know, he's a communist or a socialist or anarchist or all three or something. It's hard to know, but he hates America, but he loves Americans. So he claims, right? He loves all people, but he doesn't think that America should exist as a country. Well, excuse me. I used the button. I just noticed that he wants to give all the power and money to the workers, so-called workers, because he is a nice socialist or something like that. Not that nice, but in a sense he is. So it's so phony and female, right? And he wants, because he doesn't think it's fair that the people who make the companies and make the good decisions about what to do with the money and the workers. Keck Radio says Molyneux got worked by Jay Dyer. I'm not sure who that is. But regardless, he did not get worked by Vosh. Vosh, I only listened to the first 22 minutes, 23 minutes. Not 2 hours today. Jamie Winnie says, when are you going for 2 hours? Please. Soon, but not now. I have a beta back. But it was so mama, as in like wanting to take care of everybody and enforce her fake version of fairness on the people. That's how I see people like Vosh and people like Destiny who want to reduce harm by imposing gun laws. Destiny is like not as insane as Vosh and them, but in terms of the gun laws and reducing harm and stuff like that, weak. So I was just thinking about, because I notice a pattern where we can very easily criticize the rhinos and weak politicians and corrupt people, and rightly so, for their weakness. But if you pay attention to yourself, if you're not strong, then you'll notice that you're the same way, just with different things. And it's kind of like where in the Bible, Jesus said something like, to him who is entrusted with, to him who is faithful with little, if you're not faithful, geez, how does it go? If you're not faithful with little things, how can you be trusted with bigger things? Basically, right? Meaning, like, if you're not working at your job rather than watching Hake on D-Live, I don't know, then how are you going to move up in that job, or how are you going to be trustworthy as a worker, right? And how are you going to become like a manager or something? It makes a lot of sense. You have to be faithful, trustworthy with the small things. So the other thing is when you're afraid to confront or take strong action when needed in a pressure situation, person-to-person situation. It's the same as letting the illegal aliens stay. Oh, just let them. I know it's wrong. Or letting the coronavirus spread. This coronavirus that's going on right now, you know, there's a lot of both fear-mongering and hiding the reality of what's going on. Maybe it's worse than we're thinking. Maybe it's not as bad as we're thinking. But the coronavirus, like, we didn't have to be letting in all these people, but we're letting them in. And that's that same weakness that allows just evil to just come in. Evil and sickness. When you think that you know something and you bash people over the head with it, you become a Bible thumper or a Jesse thumper or a Jew thumper or whatever, or a MGTOW thumper, whatever. You're the same as the SJWs and hashtag #MeToo movement and the politically correct lynching people. It's basically the same thing, just on a grander scale. What's going on in the big world, like in like the politics and stuff, is the same as the insanity that goes on in your own little world, in your own life. It's just something I think so. So just because you know that it's the Jews or it's the women or whatever, that knowledge is no enlightenment, and it doesn't tell you how to live and how to overcome, right? There's no enlightenment for dealing with the problem. So I was just thinking about how, like, different people have their different ideologies, and some of the ideologies are right, but then they are not right within themselves. So I'm going to read some more of the super chats. Appreciate it, guys. Giovanni A says, here. Crystal K says, where can I find your interview with Asmodor? Very good question. I don't know. Hopefully it was recorded. I know it's streamed. I know you can watch it for a couple of days afterwards, live. And I know that he likes to try to upload to BitChute, although BitChute is a little buggy, and unless you have it connected with YouTube and it uploads to BitChute, it's kind of a pain, honestly. I've tried to upload directly to BitChute, and it's taken me 2-3 tries. And who wants to do that 3 times a week? So I don't know if it's up or not. Elfine says, Earl is Marcus Jones. Changed my mind. Interesting, Elfine. Malkuth X, hey, Hake, you look happier than a mug. Did you forgive Jesse? No, I have not forgiven Jesse, but I appreciate it. And Jib Jab says, that's what Bluetooth is for, Hake. I can do my job and tune into the JLP and Hake report low key. Oh, right on. Because he's on YouTube and watching it. YouTube, by the way, has taken a dive in its goodness and its skills. Franklin Graham is preaching, says Hake is preaching insecurity. I don't know what you mean. I'm not preaching insecurity. I'm preaching, I don't know. Jimmy DM, the Hake report, la la la. James Hake, you're on your own channel. So cool, man. Congrats, James. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I'm going to get to some calls, and then I'm going to get to this. There's attack on Trump supporters and some injustice in America. I hope to talk about Roger Stone. The dumb judge is being dumb, which is really predictable, honestly, anyways. And, yeah, attacks on Trump supporters by Antifa and other evil people. But first, let me get to some calls. Nick out of Florida, first-time caller. Nick, thanks for calling. What's up?
No, I've called before, Mr. Hake.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, I recognize your voice.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
No, I was just going to make an odd comment. I'm not going to try to upset you or make you feel uncomfortable, but I just wanted to say something.
All right. You already upset me and made me feel uncomfortable with that preface.
What's that?
I said you already made me uncomfortable and upset with that preface. When you warn somebody that you're not gonna, make them upset and uncomfortable, that makes them upset and uncomfortable.
Oh, I thought you said
I wasn't thinking that you were gonna make me upset and uncomfortable. Anyways, go on.
I thought you said I cussed.
No, I didn't say you cussed.
I was like, what did I say? That was a curse word.
No.
No, what I was going to say is all my life, well, not all my life, but ever since I was 15, 16 years old,
yeah.
If any time I do anything or I go out in public, anybody comes up to me, talks to me, it always comes up in conversation. I don't know why they say it, but everybody, I've heard it thousands and thousands of times, that I look like Jesus.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's nothing I can do about that. Like,
you
I've never heard that I look like my dad.
Do you have a beard?
I've never heard that. People even say, they're like, you don't look like him.
You don't look like your dad?
No, I don't look like him.
Do you have a beard?
Well, even if I shave my beard, though, that's the weird thing.
You've gotten these comments even after you shave your beard?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Like, people in church will come up to me and say it. Literally, at Disney World, anywhere I go, well, I can just walk up to a random stranger, right?
Yeah.
Walk up and say, hey, who do you think I look like? And they'll laugh. And they're like, you look like Jesus.
Are you white or black?
Away. I'm white.
Okay. Then you don't look like Jesus? No, I'm kidding.
But I don't understand, because I don't think I look like any kind of picture I've ever seen, or...
Maybe you just have that light emanating from you.
Well, see, it kind of explains, like, maybe it explains a lot of the things that happens through me throughout the day, though, which doesn't make any sense either.
I wouldn't worry about it, Nick.
No, it's not that I worry about it. I mean, like, say I can walk up to a total stranger.
I know, but
I can tell them
my
exactly
point
where
is,
they're going wrong.
By worry, Nick, I mean I wouldn't speculate about it.
No, I'm just curious where I should be going, because, like, I'd like to be able to do more.
Do more what?
Yeah, like, spread my message.
What's your message?
It's pretty much what you and Jesse do.
Oh, okay.
But I need to be able to talk to people, and then, like, the people that I seem to be coming in contact with.
Yeah.
Like, they all want me to talk, but, like, How do I
don't
spread a message? I
don't do
want to
what
start
they.
a YouTube channel.
But I
though.
say don't do what they want you to do. You're not Jesus.
That's why I haven't started a YouTube channel or none of that stuff.
Are you working right now?
I work every day.
Nice.
I literally work 7 days a week.
Without doxing you unnecessarily, what you do?
I don't care. I mean, I don't care. Everybody knows who I am. I mean, you can say my name. I don't care.
Well, yeah, but what you do? What do you do for work?
I'm a painter. I work with my dad right now.
Nice. Jesus was a stone cutter, according to Bill O'Reilly, or a carpenter, according to the King James people.
Oh, I'm a carpenter, too.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a carpenter.
Right on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say, but Nick, I would say, I would say don't try to direct your own life, right? Doesn't
Well,
that
I've never
make
done
sense?
that. I've never done that.
Well, yeah, so then, and also, like, don't look to others to direct it.
Yeah, that's why I got out of school when I was like 11 or 12.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah. And then they sent me an age waiver.
How'd you find our show?
He was interviewing Roseanne.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And then I saw Bill Maher and a couple other ones. But
Yeah,
it's pretty much, it's literally the same thing that, I mean, I've believed my whole entire life. Like, say when I
How
was
old are you?
6 years old, I think I've told Mr. Jesse when I was 6 years old, I heard a message and people were talking about God and Jesus and all that, and that's the way I've lived ever since.
How old are you, Nick?
I'm 39, wow.
Oh, Jesus was 33. But Nick, man, it sounded like you were calling me for advice, and I don't advise doing that.
No, I don't advise anything. I mean, I was
saying like
God and,
it sounded like you were asking me for advice or something.
no, I just thought it was something odd, and I
Okay.
didn't really. I mean, it's just something that I've been dealing with all my life.
Don't let it play
Like
with
the
your
fact
head, though.
That, like I can hear people's, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, don't
Like,
let
I
that
could
play
walk
with
up
your
to a
mind,
person.
man, because it'll drive you nuts. You'll end up being one of those weird guys, and you don't want to do that.
No, but say, like, for example, I mean, I've led so many people to God. I mean, I don't even know, but I mean,
Don't toot your own horn too loud.
no, say I don't talk about stuff like that.
You just did, though.
Oh, I'm
Gotcha.
oh.
That's
Sorry,
all
my
right,
bad, my
Nick.
bad.
Let's talk again another time, man.
All right, bro.
Okay. Good to hear from
Thanks.
you. All right. I'm going to get to some more calls, but first, Willie Palomino says, congratulations, Hake. Thank you, Willie Palomino. Jib Jab says, skip for mod 2020. Whoa. Snakes for mods? That's nice. That might be too nice. I don't know if I'm that nice. Cool. Oh, he says, Asmodor says, I am uploading the Hake Report interview to my preferred server now. It will be posted on Daily Stormer by tonight. Nice. Appreciate that. dailystormer.name. Awesome. My debut on the White channel, on the White website. Anyways, so speaking of past interviews, I mentioned Vosh. He called himself gay. He was pansexual, and somebody I think requested I have a non-gay guest, and I did. I had a non-homosexual guest on my show. He was a Christian, so therefore he's not homosexual. His name is Jason Bartlett. Did you catch the show on Friday? It was so cool. It was on Jesse Lee Peterson's stream in the 4th hour. That was my final time streaming on Jesse Lee Peterson's channels, hopefully. And also known as Buffalo Bartlett. 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 And he is from South Africa, he's a refugee from South Africa, in Texas now, but walking from Texas to D.C. Maybe he's almost there. So he told me that even Texas, yes, has changed for the worse. You know how they're turning Texas blue? I've been covering it since I was a producer on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. They were talking about, we're going to turn Texas blue. Meaning, when you turn Texas blue, when you turn a state blue, that means Democrat voter. And Democrat means socialist. So it's really turning it red, right? AOC talked about turning Texas red. I think Cortez, the socialist woman. So they've been working on this forever. We've had mass immigration, legal and illegal. Both are bad because the legal immigrants, thanks to the 1965 Immigration Act, have been pushing. What have they been doing? They've been making us more socialist, more anti-white, because they're not for what's right. And they're useful idiots. And then we're raising useful idiots too. The white babies are being raised by angry conservative parents or busy, non-involved parents who are just working, not paying attention to the fact that their children are being brainwashed, or just liberal white parents sometimes. And so these kids are going to public school, going to college, becoming useful idiots for socialism, communism, anti-whiteism, anti-man. And so Texas has taken a major turn for the worst, even in the last 14 years. Buffalo Bartlett from South Africa, Jason Bartlett, my previous guest, was in Texas in 2006, and he loved it. Well, more recently, he's walking from Texas to D.C., carrying an American flag, wearing a Keep America Great hat, a pro-Trump hat, because he supports Trump. Trump's a strong Christian man. And he's getting attacked by Antifa, even in Texas. Walking through these big cities in Texas are very liberal, and they have been for some time. So that's what's been happening. And then I see on Twitter, Jack Posobiec tweeted a Fox 32 News report, this Indiana couple, black male and a white female, I don't know if she's a full-on white or what, drove boys with Trump flags who were riding their bicycles off the road. They drove them off the road. You know how a car spots somebody, a motorcycle or a bicycle that they don't like, they kind of get close to them and scare them off the road? That's what they did to these boys, Trump-supporting boys. It's been an attack. Nationwide, there's attacks on Trump supporters all the time. The media doesn't like to talk about it. They totally ignore it. I talked yesterday on my channels on Sunday, 9 a.m., Los Angeles time, about the double standard. And that is the media. They love to just ignore the attack on whites. Just ignore it and be part of it, actually. They're part of the attack on whites. And it's crazy. Pushing injustice in America. And then they play up and overblow the attack on blacks and make up stuff. Meanwhile, they're the ones attacking blacks, promoting homosexuality. They promote black homosexuals, black transgenders, and all this just degrading stuff. I have this story, degrading black men. BET, part of the degradation of black men. Black male Atlanta star, Atlanta is like a show, Brian Tyree Henry will play Marvel's first openly gay superhero in the Eternals. So Marvel comic books, they have a homosexual, openly, brazenly, shamelessly homosexual superhero in this, I guess, movie, The Eternals. This actor will reportedly share a passionate kiss. Gross. So they're degrading black men and also white men and women. I mean, the women willingly participate oftentimes, more often. But so I just wanted to tell you guys about that injustice in America. But just know that it's there, and that way you can handle it. By the way, Harvey Weinstein was found guilty, I heard, right? 8 women changed the course of history, says Cy Vance, Manhattan District Attorney. I'm reading that off of Fox News. So, I don't know, is that justice? Those women, are they victims or are they accomplices? That's my question. Because Weinstein, he was not an innocent soul, right? But is he guilty of these crimes? And are these women innocent in all this? I don't think so. So I see this whole Me Too movement even though it is attacking liberal. In Weinstein's case, he's like, I don't know what I know that he's Jewish by blood. He's probably an atheist or something. Can't imagine he's very religious in any sense. But anyways, yeah, the fall guy for the general corruption. I see, you know how Trump pardoned that Blago guy, Blagoyevsky, Blagojevich. Thank you. You know how Trump pardoned Blagojevich? He was the former Democrat governor of Illinois from, I think, back when Obama got elected president and left a vacancy in the Senate seat. Obama was a junior senator of Illinois, believe it or not. Jimmy DM says, James Asmodor is hosting the Hake Report on D Live. Nice. Appreciate that, Asmodor. And I'm going to get to more calls. Appreciate you guys hanging on. But I see Blagojevich, you know, I just looked at some back highlights. I don't know a lot about this story, but Blagojevich was a guy who was convicted of so-called corruption. The FBI or somebody had wiretapped the feds, wiretapped Blagojevich's office and caught him on phone recording, audio recordings, him saying that, floating the idea, I guess, of selling the Senate seat because he can appoint a senator, I guess, in the interim. And so maybe he floated the idea and that's what they got him on. I don't really know. But they put him in jail, I think, for 14 years, but he served 15 years, something like that. He served 8 of them and Trump let him out. Nice. And I kind of like that because he's like that slick. He looks like a wheeling and dealing, slightly slimy, but American, you know, kind of a corrupt guy. If he was corrupt, I don't know. Meanwhile, like you see the media talking about corrupt people. They say they use Blagojevich as the definition or the epitome of corruption. And I don't believe that because those people are corrupt themselves. And so I felt, maybe I speculated in my thinking that this Blago guy, Blagojevich, was the fall guy for all the corruption that still is in Illinois, specifically Chicago. Chicago is known to be corrupt, and Illinois is known to be pretty corrupt, and the government in general. But you look at these people. Rahm Emanuel was the mayor of Chicago, and now they have that black lesbian woman. What's her name? Lori Lightfoot. She's pretty light in the foot. She's a black lesbian woman. You think she's not corrupt? Even if she's like following the rules, she's a black lesbian liberal. She's not. That's corrupt. By my definition, that's corrupt. And I think that's true by God's definition, I would think. And Obama came from Chicago, very corrupt. He was friends with these communists who shouldn't even be in the country. So I just feel that these, like, he was probably, this Blago guy, Blagojevich, was probably the best of these corrupt people. Instead, they cast him as the worst and the only. That's what I see. The media is never fair. Let me get to some calls, and then hopefully I get to this Roger Stone thing. Asmodor out of Northeast Texas, first-time caller on the Hake Report. Asmodor, welcome to the show. Thanks for calling.
Hey,
What an honor.
Congratulations on starting on your new channel. And well, first I want to tell the audience to drop lemons and share the link on their social media. Support the Hake Report, but I want to know when it's going to start being 2 hours a day.
You know, I don't have a deadline for that at this time, but I'm going to heal up from my beta back, and then I'm going to play, and then I'm going to think about it. I have a back issue right now. I was thinking I was telling everybody I was going to wait until the move, but I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense to just wait until the move, because I could do it now, I think. So, anyways.
One thing I want to, I'm glad you brought it up while I was on hold, but you're absolutely right about this. I was talking about this on my show, I think Saturday. The thing with Blagojevich is there has to be a certain method to the madness of Trump pardoning him, because, the day that it hit the news, everybody was saying, all the talking heads on TV were like, well, it doesn't make any sense. Why did he pardon Blagojevich? And all his advisors are telling him not to and all this. But I just happened to have noticed, I listened to Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch.
Yeah.
I listened to his streams, and a day or two before that, in a long stream where he was comparing all the corruption that the Obama administration had got up to with no investigations and no impeachments and all that. And he was referring to, all these 302s, I believe is the number. It's these reports that the FBI has on interviews that they do and investigations they undertake about corruption, that sort of thing. And he said the only 302 that they had never been able to get their hands on, no matter how far they took it through the courts, was a particular 302 about an investigation into Obama selling that Senate seat. So Blagojevich was definitely the patsy here. If you add two and two together, and I could definitely, I'm not saying that, okay, they're going to get Blagojevich to singing and then the Justice Department's going to start prosecuting Obama. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
But it's definitely, if it's what it looks like, Blagojevich really owes Trump a big one now, and he doesn't have anything to lose because he's been pardoned. And if Obama was involved in auctioning off his own Senate seat, there's tons of political gain to be had by exposing that stuff, not to mention just, that it's in the public interest to do so. Right.
Wow, that is interesting. You reminded me as you were talking about how Trump was quite bold. He's a boomer, and he's like the bold kind of boomer, in that he was investigating Obama's birth certificate thing. And he and Sheriff Joe Arpaio each did their investigations. And that was interesting. Sheriff Joe Arpaio said that, and it looked like it was true, said that the birth certificate that they shared was photoshopped.
Right, yeah. They showed it. They did a big, they had these forensics guys who did a big press conference, and they did the presentation, and they showed exactly what the layers were.
Right.
That it was put together in layers. And when Obama was born in 63 or 64, whatever year that was, of course, there was no such thing as Photoshop. They'd print these things off.
Right.
Somebody in an office would type them up, and they'd print them off on a mimeograph machine or whatever. So regardless of whether he was actually born in Kenya or where it was, there's some kind of funny business going on there. I kind of subscribe to the theory that his actual father was that Frank Marshall Davis guy, that kind of communist handler that was around that whole group at the time. Well, if you look at a picture of them side by side,
they look kind of similar.
They look really similar, and Barack Obama doesn't look anything like the Obama guy that they claim is his father.
Interesting, man. I could also just easily believe that he's just trolling us. Obama could be trolling us. Like Bill O'Reilly claimed, and I tend to think that he's an honest journalist as much as he can, that his team found a newspaper clipping of the announcement of Obama being born in Hawaii. And so he said that it was true that he was born in Hawaii. But I don't know, and I just leave it as an I don't know. It is interesting. I have noticed that he looks a little bit like that black communist guy, Frank Marshall Davis. You know, the other thing about, you brought up Blagojevich. He, when I watched that news report about him, he used to be very standing with the cops. And I think that the Fraternal Order of Police had written to Trump 3 weeks prior to his commutation or whatever, clemency, that they requested that Trump let this guy out. And because he had really been supportive of the cops, and he ran on getting rid of corruption, which, I mean, which politician doesn't, right? But I like that about him too. You know, he is a Democrat. Still, I guess I don't like that, but I like the fact that he supported the cops. It's kind of like the old school Democrat, as opposed to this new anti-white, anti-law Democrat that we have today. I reported that from Drudge that illegals are working shamelessly and talking to the media in the Bernie Sanders campaign, reaching out to the fellow illegal aliens voter base. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's, they've always, like they used to always say that their most reliable voting bloc was the blacks, but now their two most reliable voting blocs are illegals and the dead. You know,
right?
But yeah, this thing with Blagojevich, though, I mean, I don't mind, even if there wasn't any reason for it, I don't mind him getting pardoned, just for the simple fact that if you look at this thing, he's already done more time than murderers and rapists get in Chicago. Yeah. You know?
Most murderers get away with it in Chicago. They don't even get caught.
Right.
Far.
Yeah.
Anyways, Asmodor, anything else?
No, I guess that's it. Like I said, I just wanted to call in and tell you it's exciting to have you streaming on your own channel.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this. You do one of the best shows out there. I always, whenever the topic comes up, I always pump up and promote your show. And I know you're going to be successful. And once again, I want to join the chat to support you, to share your links on social media and drop some lemons. And have a great show, man.
Thank you, Asmodor. Take care. Appreciate that. By the way, guys, I am going to open the treasure chest in 5 to 6 minutes, 5.5 minutes. All right. So Joel's going to ring the thing. He'll open the chest. It's not as big as Jesse's, but it's getting there, right? Jose out of Texas. Jose, thanks for holding. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Hake?
Hey, good to hear from you. By the way, Jose, thanks for the question yesterday. I was glad to be able to explain that more. Yesterday I was talking about the Obama's Attorney General versus Trump's Attorney General, and a lot of younger guys don't remember all the stuff that went on under Obama. So I was glad to clarify that. Hopefully that helped other people too.
It was really deep what you were going into, and I mean, I'm like around your age. I'm 38.
Okay. Yeah.
And during that year, that's when I was just got back from Iraq, and
oh, nice.
I was in and out with the news, but I mean, I was more into the conspirative videos.
Cool. Right on. That stuff is important too, right?
What's that?
I said that stuff is important too, right?
I don't know. I mean, back then it was nothing but it pushed a lot of despair. I don't know if you watched them.
I never really got into that stuff, although there are a lot of people that are into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but now, I mean, I think it's turning into like more being just mocking it instead of like just full of despair. Even in the videos they'll put that eerie music, which how music, man,
right?
It can affect the emotions of the person watching it.
Yeah.
But now it's changing, and I don't know if you still watch or watch any conspiracy videos now, or just theories, or just, like they're really changing. Like now it's making it, making it fun. Like how you guys
Good.
make the news fun, and
Right.
laughing and, so I really, really enjoyed you guys and like Owen Benjamin and other guys.
Right on. That's a nice report. That's a nice change.
Yeah.
Losers become conspiracy theorists. And before anybody takes that personally, look at what happened with Obama's election. We talked about, we speculated that there's a lot more going on that we didn't know for sure, or a lot of people speculated, right? Look at Trump's election. Look at the conspiracy theorists going nuts. The losers,
Oh.
the media, they have their
But those
crazy
are
conspiracy
fake.
theories. It's the
But
same
those are
thing.
fake conspiracy. Nah, I don't think
Right.
so. Because the
Well, it's even worse
The
on
real-
their side because they're not remotely for what's right. The conspiracy
Yeah.
theorists on our side, they're at least they want what's right, even if they're not
Right.
living it. Yeah.
Yeah, and what they were going off of is the truth of the matter. What was going on. That was their. They're like, look at this. But with the conspirators there, on the left, they don't have any ground. Anything to go off of. They're just speculating. And they're in their head.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is the losers, the liberals, are even in the CIA and the FBI, and they're conspiracy theorists too. They were telling, like the CIA was, some CIA members or former or current or maybe both were telling Moby, hey, we don't have your platform. Warn the people about this Trump-Russia thing. So this Moby guy, Moby is a big famous, he was famous back when I was in high school.
Yeah, Moby.
Like DJ type of a guy. He sings that song at the end of the Born Identity, right? And so like Moby was out there pushing this conspiracy theory that the CIA people gave him. And so all these people, these officials, and these officials are the ones who are accused you guys of being conspiracy theorists. They're the ones who came up with this term conspiracy theorist, right? And in order to just make you guys look like we shouldn't even look at your topic. Anyways, crazy.
But yeah, and also what my call was going to mention how the left, how the blind, like they're pushing more, which is actually helping us see what they've been planning, what they've been pushing, and it's kind of like a good thing because it's waking up men.
Yeah.
That you guys, that we've been, weak. And we need to stand up again. We need to be strong again, and Trump also is just showing us, that, you can, like you can be strong. Like whatever you say, it, to the weak, it sounds immature. It sounds
Right.
mean, but it's just words, and it's actually like helps,
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, it is. I'm happy that Trump is in there. He's generally setting a good example. There's some things that I don't like he appointed this homosexual guy to the highest office that a homosexual has ever been in. And Rick Grinnell, as director of national intelligence. And, the New York Post is saying it's historic. And you have dumb supposedly conservative guys, and I don't think of this guy as dumb usually, but Matt Gaetz promoting the fact that this guy is gay and put in this position of power, director of national intelligence. I don't like that, but I don't think that Trump really cares about it. He's not like necessarily promoting it the way that these others are. I think Trump he's a New York liberal, so he lets people.
At least putting him in that. National intelligence. There's really no intelligence with that.
True.
I don't think.
I know it's a misnomer. Look at the CIA.
We'll put a title on you. On you, gay guy. Here you go. Oh, thank you. Like,
well,
right.
The one thing I like about this guy, even though he is gay, is that he seems to support Trump, and I don't think that he's supporting him just to undermine him.
Oh, really?
So that part, that's nice, I guess.
Damn, it's weird how there's different people, like, you know, like they're on one side, they think another. It's, oh man. But
Yeah.
you see that you're not trying to undermine. That's good.
Maybe, but I don't know if he can help it though, because he is homosexual and he promotes it. He disputed Jesse. He responded to Jesse Lee Peterson when there is a picture of him in the. I don't think that's Air Force One. That looks awfully cramped.
But he responded how? How did
He
respond?
responded, but to Jesse when Jesse Lee Peterson said something like, "There's no such thing as being gay and conservative. You can't be
Oh, that was the guy.
conservative and Christian." And that got a lot of reaction from a lot of so-called gay conservatives. They're like, "Oh, so
Yeah.
you're saying I don't exist?" Well, no, just that you're not conservative. You're not truly conservative. We're not conserving values when you're gay and out of the closet about it. You should go back into the closet and have some shame and respect. But
Yeah, you're using conservative just the word. You know, now
Yeah.
you gotta know where it's from, like where it's based from. Yeah,
things have changed
Valid.
big time, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
like
it,
people-
Jose.
Yeah, okay. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye. So, the treasure chest. Sorry, guys, I'm late. And then I'll get to Alex. So, it's opening. And by the time you hear this, I'll have clicked. Alex, out of North Carolina. Alex, thanks for calling. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good to hear from you. Fine.
Yeah. Have you ever smoked pot?
Yeah, I have.
Did you ever like it?
No, I didn't like it. You know, I yielded to peer pressure one time. And
Right.
then another time I vaped thinking that it was just sweet vape, but something happened with my head after that too. I assume it was pot or something. And you know, I never trusted my friend
Bernie
again. It was the same
Sanders-
friend too. Should have known better. But yeah,
you
I
know
don't.
Bernie Sanders is trying to legalize pot, right? I think that's what I've been reading on the news, right?
Yeah, I mean, he and
You
seemingly
think he's
everybody
trying
else
to
in the
use it
world.
to brain control, to control people? Because I feel like when people start smoking pot, they get like kind of stupid and lazy.
Duller. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you think they're trying to legalize it not only to make a profit, but they just know that most people get addicted to it and they get lazy and, you know,
Yeah,
they turn into pieces of crap, you know?
right. Yeah, I think that that's the case. That I notice that these people always promote and encourage degeneracy and shamelessness. Like I was talking with another caller and listener, Mark, out of San Diego about this. He came up and he was going to call my show and tell me this, but he came to church and he's all, Admiral Spielberg says, Hake looks high right now. High on being on my own channels. But,
Yeah.
but he said that, so I know that Mark tends to be for legalization because, but not this much for legalization, right? And I guess I should let him give his own thing, but he pointed out that people should go back into the closet with this. Like, if you're on pot and you can't quit, or you think that it's a good thing, but you know, you look around and you see people embracing it degenerately, because that is the culture right now. They are celebrating it. You have Kamala Harris saying, it just makes you feel good. Kick, 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 like Jesse Lee Peterson says. And that is so, look at the people that are promoting it. They're liberals. They're degenerates, right? They're not for building up the country and making men into men. And yeah, I know a lot of you guys do take it or whatever, or you know you like the health effects of the CBD as opposed to the THC. But go back into the closet with it. We should go back into the closet with pornography, with alcohol, with pot, with homosexuality, with any kind of sex out of wedlock. Those should be shamed rather than promoted.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Here in North Carolina, it's illegal.
Yes.
Fully. It's not recreational. It's not even medicinal. And, you know, I've seen in the news recently that these people robbed a weed shop, a weed dispensary,
Yeah.
and it was legal, and they still robbed it. So no matter if you legalize it or not, I mean, people are still going to try to get their hands on it.
Yeah. You know what? You know what else?
Terrible.
You know what else is all of this legalization that's being pushed? It is helping the so-called big businesses stomp out the little businesses because they're increasing like the weird regulations that nobody, just as with any business, they increase all this regulation and taxes and make everything more expensive. And then the only people who can afford to do business are huge companies. And then you weed out, and then they raise like all this minimum wage stuff. All these things result in the loss of business by small business people. And I'm not promoting pot as a business, but the reality is it is a business for people. And now you just shot yourself in the foot by being part of this legalization effort. It's something that Mark pointed out anyways. And I believe that big time because that's what's happening with like all this fight for 15 stuff, raising the minimum wage and all that stuff. That is only helping the elitists who are not true elites, but the people that want to just control and run the world. They're not good people. So, yeah, you're right. People are corrupt. People are going to steal it anyways.
Yeah, and even I'm kind of for it if they legalize it like medicinally, because I get it. It does help some people. But even then, people are going to just fake going to the doctor.
Right.
Be like, oh, I got a headache. I got
I
this.
know.
I feel like it's going to be easier for people to get it even more. And, I mean, man, I feel like it's really going to, if it does get legalized worldwide, it's going to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people that disagree with me. That's why I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm pretty sure Trump doesn't want it legalized.
Yeah, he's kind of old school. He doesn't even drink, which I respect that. Because, it's best to be a clear-minded person.
That's right.
He just drinks a bunch of Diet Cokes. Endless Diet Cokes from a bottle, not from the plastic or the can. Anyways, Alex, appreciate that. Anything else?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. It was a pleasure talking to you, Hake.
Yeah, you as well. Take care.
All right. You too.
All right. So, congratulations to Reed Johnson. Thank you, Reed. Shaggy Boy, Dark Side of the Bear, what? Kid Combo 1, and Ferocious Chihuahua. And the rest of you guys who got little redistribution of lemons. That's why we call it the Obama chest. Because it's a redistribution of so-called wealth. Lemons. A lemon represents 1.2 cents. Did you know that? That's cool. So right on. Appreciate the support, guys. Let me just double check this stuff. Anomic Hake poll. How many states will Trump win? You guys take your guesses because I don't know. I just know he's going to win. I imagine he's going to win. Mad Mike Hughes died in an epic rocket crash, says El Finn. Yeah. I don't know who that was, but he was a daredevil guy. So, rest in peace to him. What a shame. And Jordanos Desta, use waist belt with heating pad for pain. Thank you for the tip. Appreciate that. So, let me tell you guys about this Roger Stone thing. Drudge reports the judge denies Roger Stone's effort to disqualify her. And this is the Obama judge. Oh, if you can find a picture of Amy Berman Jackson. I've talked about her multiple times. She's Jewish, and she looks white, and she's married to that black guy, a black guy named Jackson, Daryl Jackson or something like that. Maybe her son was Daryl. But married to a black guy. Liberal, she's a liberal. And the black guy also is an attorney, I think, and he worked in the W. Bush administration in the Department of Commerce or something. But anyways, she's liberal regardless. She runs him, right? Politico reports this federal judge who sentenced President Donald Trump's longtime advisor, Roger Stone, who's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show multiple times. Maybe we'll get him on the Hake Report. Once his gag order finally runs out, this Obama judge put a gag order on him, sentenced him to more than 3 years in prison, 3 years, 4 months, 40 months, right? 36 plus 4. Last week, she has decisively rejected there she is, Obama judge. Looks like my sister. Except mean and old. Mean. Okay, never mind. She doesn't look like my sister. But U.S. District Court Judge Amy Berman Jackson issued a sharply worded order because the defense requested she drop off of this case ruling, pending a new trial motion challenging the conduct of a juror at his trial. Because I had told you before, too, that there was the jury foreman, female jury foreman, another liberal woman, hated Trump, called him the Klan, the KKK. Stupid. And this Obama judge allowed that woman to stay on the case and hasn't even basically even said a word about it, to my knowledge. Hasn't even acknowledged that she messed up by allowing this jury foreman, female jury foreman, who allegedly lied about not having a political bias, about not knowing much about the case. She follows politics. One of those obnoxious liberal women who follows politics and gripes about about Trump being in the Klan, which he's not. So she issued this Amy Berman Jackson woman, judge, Obama-appointed judge, mind you, issued a sharply worded order dressing down Roger Stone's defense team for using the court's docket to air what she said were meritless claims that she is biased against him. Of course she's biased against him. She issued a gag order against Roger Stone because he's able to speak his mind and so-called potentially influence the jury. That's so pathetic. To me, it's a violation of his First Amendment rights. She violated his human rights. She said, quote, or she wrote on Sunday, quote, at bottom, given the absence of any factual or legal support for the motion of disqualification, the pleading appears to be nothing more than an attempt to use the court's docket to disseminate a statement for public consumption that has the words judge and biased in it. You are biased, Judge Amy Berman Jackson. You're a liberal woman. No business even being a judge, but of course Obama put her there. In recent days, Trump has used Twitter to suggest and point out, really, that Jackson is biased and has used social media, Trump has used social media and public speeches to endorse claims by Stone's allies, Roger Stone's allies, that the jury foreman, they call him foreperson, ridiculous, female foreman, harbored antipathy towards him. And of course he did. It's true. It's not just claims. This is reality. But this is, of course, who is it? Politico. Politico is pretending that they're just claims, that it's not factual. Mike Cernovich and others reported about it. The Daily Caller did too, that this jury foreman, meaning the leader of the jury that convicted this guy, Roger Stone, was biased against Trump, big time biased against Trump. Just one day after Stone's sentencing last week, his defense filed a motion asking this judge, Amy Berman Jackson, to recuse herself from a pending motion for new trial that alleges a juror at his week-long trial last November did not give accurate answers when questioned by the court. And these juries are interviewed by the judge in this case, not by the prosecutors or the defense. Judges cannot be biased and need not be disqualified if the views they express are based on what they learned while doing the job they were appointed to do. So said this know-it-all judge, Amy Berman Jackson. I mean, it's to be expected. Most judges are liberal, to be honest, I think. And I think that, good news, I told you guys yesterday that Trump has flipped the Ninth Circuit. So hopefully instead of far left liberal, it will at least be Rhino. That's the best we can hope for, right? Whatever. We'll find out. But he has been appointing a bunch of judges. So that could have a positive effect on America. We'll see. Anyways, this has been the Hake Report. Appreciate you guys joining me over here. That's nice. Right on. Let me see. Tony Tebb says, shout out my wife, Hake. Shout out my wife, Mavis. She loves the show. She Black. Right on. Tony Tebb and Mrs. Tony Tebb Mavis. Right on. You're black. Thank you for loving the show. I mean, how can you help it? All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And make sure you support Jesse. Newproject2.com/Jesse Lee Peterson or subscribestar.com/Jesse Lee Peterson or patreon.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. All right, guys. TheHakeReport.com for my website. Take care.